Today, pretty much everything is going up, but some tokens are more important than others. We have been covering Popcat regularly on this channel. It's one of the major tokens on the Solana chain. So this is video number 7. The very first one was published on the 20th of January. And at that time, that was 510 days ago, nobody was interested in Popcat. But now it became the second largest trending token on the entire chain. Popcat has 11.5 million of liquidity. That's only beaten by Fartcoin. That first video, by the way, was published when we were still at 3 cents. We subsequently saw a massive pump of several thousand%, then a subsequent dump of more than 90%. And now we are back into recovery. Still, from that first video, we are up more than 13x even after this massive dump. And so it's all about being early in crypto. I publish videos on various altcoins regularly on this channel, so feel free to subscribe over here. Now here's the thing, crypto and especially meme coin trading is 100% a player versus player game. The vast majority of traders lose and a small minority of traders win. You are not becoming part of the minority of winners by just looking at the website and start clicking randomly on this cat. What matters instead is looking at data that most people are not considering. It's about looking at the on-chain data. Who's buying here? Who's selling here? What's actually driving the price? Now there are two major forces with any cryptocurrency. The first major force is the derivative market. So that's the perpetual futures, and that's the short-term bets on the price. Because very often we see more trading volume over there. This here is an overview of the spot trading volume. Most of it happens on centralized exchanges, and there's been 13.7 million on MEXC in the last 24 hours. Again, that's spot. That's directly trading the token. On the perpetual futures market, we tend to see more trading volume. It's above 100 million in the last 24 hours for many of those exchanges. Most people that use those derivatives bet on rising prices. That's why the funding rate is positive most of the time. So the longs have to pay the shorts in order to get more exposure to the price. Sometimes erratic movements can lead to liquidations, but of course, if most people bet on rising prices, the longs get liquidated more often than the shorts. Now here's something interesting about Popcat. Usually the open interest on the perpetual futures market is a leading indicator what's going to happen with the spot price. In other words, the perp futures tends to be very quick in trading. They push up the price and then arbitrage bots balances out with spot. This seems to not be the case for Popcat. Here we saw the spot price going up first, so that's the line in yellow, and then the open interest on the perpetual futures following. So the perp traders were slower in the last months. So even though there's more trading volume on the perps, it seems to not be the deciding factor for the price discovery of Popcat. So is it then the spot trading or the trading directly on the Solana chain that matters for price discovery? We've got 144,000 holders on the Solana chain of Popcat. In the last month, the number of recurring traders and first-time traders tended to rather decline. Also, the number of token transactions tended to decline. The trading volume comes in waves. This is no surprise. Meme coin attention comes and goes. This here is in US dollars on the left. And on the right side, we've got this normalized to 100%. And we look at the different wallet cohorts. So over time, the smaller wallets take over more and more of the trading volume. So those are the wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of Popcat. Really, the situation on the spot market is quite surprising because we do not see accumulation by any wallet cohort. We don't see this by the retail investors. We don't see this by the whale investors. And the way we make this distinction is by looking at minimum holding thresholds. So to be counted for a wallet here in this left chart, that wallet has to hold at least 2,500 Popcat tokens. So at the current price, it's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. In the middle, that's a 10x. It's 25,000 tokens or $10,000 worth of the token. And on the right, another 10x, so $100,000 worth of the token. Small retail tended not to sell that much. They accumulated at the beginning and then just kept holding. Medium-sized retail did start selling, and the whales started selling from the very beginning. Clearly, latest by the middle of April 2020, 2024, we don't see any more buying on chain. And that's this point over here. This is now Popcat relative to Solana. Not Popcat in US dollars, but Popcat relative to Solana. It matters because there's so much correlation within crypto. If Solana goes up by 10%, Popcat automatically goes up by 10% as well. And that's because the main liquidity pool of Popcat is versus Solana. So how is it possible that the price still went up by more than 100% when the number of investors actually didn't go up anymore? Short-term leverage is one explanation, but again, this seems to be a lagging indicator. My impression is that even though the number of whales did not go up, there might have been a few participants that just bought up a lot of the supply. So it might have been a few whales that simply accumulated more and more over time. If those whales will continue to hold is the big question. We don't see Popcat outperforming Solana over the long term. Of course, we do see more volatility. Is it worth getting into Popcat? It depends on the upside potential. And we might be able to estimate this looking at other Solana meme coins. So Popcat has now a market cap of 400 million. The largest meme coin on Solana is Trump with 2 billion. So that's a 5x from here. Will Popcat flip Trump? Probably not. So we are unlikely going to see a price of more than $2. Could it flip Pudgy Penguins? Potentially. Could it flip Fartcoin? Maybe, but that's already a stretch. So more than a 3x from here is, in my opinion, very unlikely. The source of demand for Popcat is very unclear. The token is already very large. We can't do another 10x. So I think if we are in meme coin trading anyways, if we are okay with the risk of a player versus player game where the vast majority is losing, if we are okay to enter that battle, we at least want to get proper upside. And I don't really see this in Popcat anymore. If a 2x outperformance versus, say, Bitcoin is already enough, we might as well just buy Solana and Ethereum directly. We don't have to get into meme coin trading. Again, it's all about being early. Popcat was interesting at 3 cents. It was interesting over here on this chart, but I think it's not that interesting anymore. I try to keep it as objective as possible on this channel. If an altcoin is very expensive, I say so. If I see it very cheap, I say so as well. If you appreciate this, feel free, of course, to subscribe over here. Now, some people might make the argument that all of this analysis doesn't help at all because markets are efficient. But I tend to disagree because it's people that make markets efficient. There are clearly winners and losers in the game, and the winners tend to continue to win. So it's not just a game of luck, it's a game of luck and skill. And the nice thing about crypto is that we've got much more data in this market compared to other markets because every transaction is publicly recorded on the blockchain. But very few people actually use that data properly. And that's in the end where winners and losers are born. People that don't look into the details enough, they tend to lose over time. That's the vast majority. Now, the charts that you've seen in this video come from a tool that I've developed myself on top of the Dune Analytics platform. It's part of the premium membership of this channel. There are 2 dashboards. There's a dashboard for Ethereum related blockchains. So those are the ones we can analyze. We can plug in any token into this tool and then we can see how many large holders are there, how many small holders are there, how many new users enter a token, and how many buyers and sellers do we have over time. It's also always useful to look at the token ownership, right? Is a token mainly held just by the whales, by the people that have more than $100,000 worth of the token? If that's true, it's potentially, especially if that happened forever, a quite dangerous token. And so this is how I think about this fundamentally. The target with trading and with investing is to be better informed than the average, to be the person that makes the market efficient. If we are better skilled than the average person, then we should over time also make positive expected value bets. So that means that not every single trade will be positive, but on average, we should make money. Again, because we can estimate the probabilities better. We can see the dangers and the potential upsides better. Now, I have made more than 100 tutorial videos on various topics within crypto. How to do on-chain analytics, how to build a Dune dashboard like we've just seen. But of course, you also get access to the dashboard itself. Also about risk management, about how to properly use leverage, if that's your thing. All kinds of videos. Feel free to check them out. The newest video is this one, how to use perpetual futures and how to use the Hyperliquid platform to beat others. The videos are posted on the website, but they're also posted directly in Telegram. And here's the feedback to that tutorial. Feel free to stop the video and read through this yourself. But of course, we also need to start somewhere. And so I am personally, of course, sharing my own trades as well as I open them. Of course, I can't share the newest trades here on YouTube, but have a look at this. This is on March 3rd. I'm adding another short, Cardano, relative to the US dollar. And the explainer was in a premium update video. So I publish premium update videos every 3 to 4 days. I then added more exposure on the 11th of March, and I then closed it on the 7th of April. So of course, not every trade works out that well, but Cardano went down relative to Bitcoin by 36% during that time. And so with this membership, I want to do both. Of course, I want to make it profitable very quickly. That's why I share my trades, but I also want that the vast majority, at least, of the members takes the time to learn as much as possible. That in the end, you might not even need the membership anymore. You can make your own profitable trades. Now have a look at this. This is where our members share their winning trades. If you use the right leverage, if you know how to do proper risk management as well, you can make hundreds of % in a single trade. It's all about being prepared and knowing the data better than most other market participants. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 US per month. The price has been reduced because currently the attention on crypto is still relatively low. Once Bitcoin hits new all-time highs again, then I might go back to the 165. But the 125 is locked in for everybody that signs up now. So when the price increases, when you're still subscribed, your price will not increase. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in Premium. There's also a link to Premium directly here on the right. Just click on that. It will lead you directly to the website. So see you next time. Cheers.